As I've mentioned previously, much tragedy befell us this past week. Our nation mourned following the senseless shooting in Arizona, leaving Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords in critical condition and 6 people dead, including a 9-year-old girl. The Reformed Jewish world grieved the premature death of the music icon Debbie Friedman, who was instrumental in reshaping our movement's relationship to music. And locally, a Memphis Jewish teen, in a tragic accident, lost his life. While families and close friends lament those who passed, we as individuals and communities try desperately to process these events, including asking the simple question, why? Why did it happen? Why would the Arizona shooter do such a despicable act? Why would someone who brought so much spirit to our lives die an untimely death? Why seek comfort in the unknown when what we do know is that young children depart this world before their time? Yet this search for why traps us, for no definite answer ever comes. And there, in shock and disbelief, we wonder, what now? What do we have? And what are we tomorrow? This week in our Torah, the Israelites escaped from Egypt and moved towards the land of promise and of hope. However, in their fleeing, they come to an immediate halt at the Sea of Reeds with nowhere to go. Behind them, the Egyptian army quickly pursues, seeking at best to return them to a life of slavery, and at worst, a massacre. There, standing in the middle, the Israelites face what appears to be a choiceless choice: to go back to an oppressive regime, to die at the hands of the Egyptians, or to go blindly into the sea. Many of us know what happens next. We learn that the sea miraculously opens up, providing a safe passage for the Israelites to cross to the other side. This conclusion, however, that in dire situations, we can wait to be inexplicably pulled up out of despair, is an assumption our tradition spurns. Our Midrash states that in this moment of peril, a young man by the name of Nachshon ben Amidav, without hesitation, runs straight into the sea. Continuing through the currents, it is not until the water reaches up to his nostrils that the water begins to recede and ultimately part. Our rabbis, in this elucidation of the text, explain that the miracle of that day was not the sea opening up, but rather Nachshon's action, moving through the waters, his leap of faith, even when it seemed impossible. In thinking about this past week's sorrows, the story of the Israelites and Nachshon become a powerful image. We, similar to the Israelites, might feel trapped emotionally, psychologically confined, trying to grasp the depths of what we feel. We might be scared with the confrontation of our own mortality, or we might be terrified that we are not fully in control of what ultimately happens in our lives and in our world. And while we are distressed by these tragedies, we realize simultaneously that the families closest to the situation have a pain so much greater to bear. Yet here we sit with our own choiceless choice. On one side, being overwhelmed with paranoia and fear of death, and on the other side, attempting to move forward even though it could be extremely uncomfortable, treacherous, and unfamiliar. Metaphorically, we stand caught between the Egyptians and the sea, and now face the simple question: what gives us the strength, like Nachshon, to continue towards that hope and that promise, even when it looks to be at its darkest point? While there is no conventional or easy answer to this question, our disbelief grounds us in what truly matters in our lives. As Susan Toby shared with me this week via email, when I asked, what do you think I should speak about? She said, Rabbi, I thought on a topic. Celebrate our individual and collective gifts of our being. We all have bad stuff we have to deal with, both inside ourselves and in our worlds. Keep focusing on the good and the gifts of life, even if quirky or not the norm, and each day will be brighter. Resiliency comes from the genuine gifts we have in our lives. For Nachshon, it was freedom. And for us today, it might be a little child's laugh. It might be the love we share with a spouse, a friend, or a child. The time we spend being with those we care deeply about. The offering of ourself to those in emotional need. Or the knowing that those close to you will be there with us as we together experience joys and sorrows. So today, may we all be Nachshons, moving forward together towards that unknowable sea. And as the water moves up to our nostrils, may our miracles be seen in our lives, in our loves, and in our togetherness. Shabbat Shalom.